Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new video. Welcome to a new hat. I lost my hat yesterday, I've got a new one today. I thought I'd go and have a look at a few car dealerships. Now my plan was to go and look for some luxury cars, but I don't seem to have found too many today. I'm here at a car dealership area where there's quite a few behind me, and we'll pop into a few and see what we can find. What I plan to do is to go in a couple of different dealerships. There is about 15 or 20 of them where I am right here, but I'm just going to go into a couple of them because I know the videos tend to get long. There was a great response to my last car dealership tour where I went to see luxury cars, and I was hoping in this area I could find some of the premium brands, but what I'm finding here is a lot of the classic Western models and brands, and then quite a lot of the new Chinese brands that are finding their way to Russia. You can actually see off in the distance Toyota there, but then right next to is Chery. Here is Haval, and then off in the distance is Exceed. And then this place right here, which is what I really want to walk into, has J2 on the front. However, on the side of the building, it has Mercedes-Benz, and this was, or is, the Mercedes dealership, or one of many here in Moscow. I will actually put a map link to where I am here in Moscow. Actually, the highway will be very well known to most people who live in Moscow generally. This is Shosse Entuziastov, which is one of the main roads that goes in and out of Moscow. Always way too much traffic. And how is it? These guys in the car right here, I was just saying hello to them, and they're from the same town where my wife is from here in Russia. What's the chances of that? I will also mention as I'm walking inside that I'm not a car guy, and I've said that in quite a few videos where I come to car dealerships, and my main point of the video is to show that there is car dealerships in Russia. There are cars for sale. A lot of the well-known brands that aren't in Russia are still in Russia, along with quite a few other brands that perhaps you've heard of, perhaps you haven't. This is J2, which actually is from the Chery brand. Actually, that might give you a good sense of the cars that are in this dealership. There is a very dusty Mercedes, and we're going to walk on inside and have a look around. This building is very impressive from the outside, and it gets really quite interesting, the size of this place. Just have a look at this building and the sheer size of it. Now this must be a Russia thing where they build these dealerships just oversized. They actually have a cafe up on the second level there. That's the extent of what this dealership was or still is. There is all the models of J2 here at the front. This is the dashing. Now I'm not going to make the video specifically about prices because I think it's very difficult to compare apples and apples. The fact that I can walk in to a car dealership here in Russia and buy a car, or I can walk into 15 different dealerships and buy one, is what's really the interesting fact for me more than anything. Hopefully I'm not talking too loud. It looks like I've got my competition here making a video as well. It is very sunny through these windows, and it's a nice time to make videos in somewhere like this. I don't quite have the brains and beauty that the lady has. However, I can still come and have a look around and see what they've got. Please, in the comments, if you know these models of cars, let me know. if you know about them, if they've got them in the city or country where you're from. This is the T2. It's surrounded by lots of flowers and pandas. It must be a thing because of the fact that this is a very well-known Chinese brand. Just have a look at the size of this place. Now, the bit I want to show you, and it's very hard to film it from outside, is the Mercedes logo on the side of the building. Because it's on the side, it's just very awkward to get to. And as we walk around at the back here, have a look what we see. These are all of the new model Mercedes vehicles. And they've got the signs on them. They don't have any prices on these. The V long exclusive. This is more of a like a executive taxi or something like that. V8 bit turbo GLS 63 AMG. This is a beast of a car. This thing right here. So there's quite a lot of models. There is also a couple of other brands tucked back here as well. And these are all 2024 models. GLS 450. Is it like a four-wheel drive? Is that what they call them, or a crossover? Is that the name for them? So they've actually got the Mercedes-Benz plates or the dealer branding on them on the back. An S580, a Maybach. Look at the wheels. Wow, it's got the blackout windows at the back. It's a bit hard to see inside. However, I think you get the idea. Must be a thing because all of these Mercedes are black colored. S450 luxury. Let's have a look what the Maybach says on it. The 580 2024. It's a beautiful car. I mean, you'd have to park it at the very end of the car park at the shopping center just so nobody has a chance of scratching it. As a point of reference, I am here on a Thursday lunchtime. So a lot of people will be stuck in traffic on the highway, or they'll be at work. Now, with a lot of these places are open 7 days a week, and generally until 10 p.m. every night. So you won't get people shopping on a Thursday lunchtime. GLE 63S. This is nice. Actually have something that's not black colored. It's grey. Now, of course, there is Mercedes dealerships everywhere in the world. Perhaps this is not unique. However, for the fact that I can walk in to a dealership with Mercedes on the wall and have a look at the G-Wagon. It has this matte finish on the paint. G63 AMG. These are nice. They really are very interesting. So they've got all of the sales desks and everything back here. Some comfy sofas if you can't decide. They've even got a few accessories tucked away in one of the cabinets. Get a phone case, hat, wallet, umbrella. If you want an umbrella for about $100 US for an umbrella. As we go further in the back here, so I would imagine these are all the sales awards that they've won over the years. Perhaps it's for internal sales amongst other Mercedes dealerships. And in the back, they've got a Range Rover back here. And they've got all the different models of Range Rover. Is there a sign? The Land Rover Defender 3.0. So yeah, they've got quite a few different brands in the same dealership. And this is quite a common thing that you'll notice all throughout Russia now. There's a lot of multi-brand car dealerships. So on the front of the building is one name, and generally when you go inside, there is quite a few others tucked away in the back. So I really hope this isn't going to go on to be a long video. It probably will be, but this is the style of videos that I make, and I think it's interesting for you watching at home, and for me making these videos to come to places like this. There is a particular dealership here that I want to show you at the end of the video, because that's actually where I came to first, but I thought I'd do the lap around backwards making the video, so stick around for the end. Some interesting cars coming up. There is one more brand tucked in here called Avatar, and there's two different models that they've got. The front looks very fiberglass and plastic-like. The logo wouldn't be very recognizable. Has anybody heard of the brand Avatar? I'm very curious. I haven't seen them before until now. Rounding out the Mercedes that are parked in here, there is an S-Class 450D. Does that perhaps mean diesel? I think it might. Very interesting that they're all dark colored cars here. Maybe they're marketing these to a certain clientele who would drive these, or perhaps have a driver for them. There's also one more Range Rover, the Autograph Santorini Black Edition. Actually, the dealership's logo is here. You can see the other models of cars that they've got around the outside of this building. The Autograph Edition, all in black again. We can't quite see inside. It's a pretty neat car. I think, considering most of the cars that I'll show in the video are Western brands with a few of the Chinese models thrown in, I have to come over and have a look at the Toyota dealership. On the side here is Cherry, which is what you really see from the road side. You can actually see the Toyota and Lexus street banners there, the very large ones as you go down the highway. And you don't really see any cars parked here. Their service center looks a little bit quiet, or at least the doors aren't open. And then let's have a look inside of what they've got. Again, this is a pretty impressive building, and they've actually got a cafe inside also. What's with cafes and car dealerships? Don't you normally go to a cafe to have food? Maybe they wine and dine you when you come to these places. Right out front here, they've got a Land Cruiser Prado 2.8. Not too sure what some of these mean. If I knew more about cars, I would love to tell you never-ending things about how beautiful it is. However, they have a Toyota Prado on display, and then there's Toyota Camry. It's very sunny today, and it's just beaming in. Now, if you remember back to my Lada dealership video, or if you haven't seen it, there was a big emphasis on every car being white because of the lack of paint in Russia. And yet all of these imported cars are not white. There's a really classic Toyota Camry here. Sport. There we go. And that's all the cars in the dealership. And I would think, beyond selling cars, they probably make more money at the cafe. This Prado is nice though. It's like the bigger version of the Land Cruiser, I think. What's interesting on the back of this white Toyota Camry, okay, 2.0S, is they've got Chinese writing on the badge. So perhaps this is imported through China to get here. I wonder where these are manufactured though. I'm guessing they've got factories in different countries. It's just interesting with that Chinese logo on the back. So the main part of this dealership, which was Toyota or is Toyota, has all of these Cherry models. And I'm fairly sure this brand is in Australia. So if there's any Australians watching, please let me know which Chinese brands we have. I know for sure Haval, because I've seen those on the road. You do actually see quite a lot of these Cherry Tigos as the premium taxis here in Moscow. And they've got all of this back section with the different models. So they've got all the pricing, and if you're going to do trade-in or you want extras, everything is marked on there. The Tigo 8 Pro Max. So yeah, they've sort of got the 50-50 dealership going on, where you've got one half the well-known brand, and then the other half one of the Chinese brands with their sign right out the front. One of the things that is different when you come to dealerships in Russia is it's all indoors. Because of the winter weather, they're not going to have all of their cars parked outside. Now, of course, there's really not a lot of snow on the ground at the moment, so it's not a big deal. And most of the dealerships have just their test cars parked out the front. And then these incredibly large buildings, they've got all of their stock parked inside, car park style. And if you were to go in the back of any of these main showrooms, all of their stock would be parked up there. So that's the big difference. If you go to a dealership in Australia, there's a forecourt where they'd have all of the models of cars on display. But in Russia, you go inside, you've got hospitality, you've got the cafes. They're doing as much as they can to wine and dine you, and then encourage you to look for one of their cars. Briefly have a look inside the Omoda and Jayco dealership here. And they've got a few of the models on show. A little bit quieter over here. Got all lady sales people, which is nice. This Omoda C5. All the specifications and prices. So they're very upfront with the pricing. They've got the signs out. You can figure out what the price is for the model, the extras, if you're going to get floor mats thrown in or not. I think I've been in one Omoda when I've took a taxi in Moscow. They all look nice to me when I look around them. I think a lot of them start looking very similar. These big digital dashboards, and then these very basic gear sticks. My next stop was going to be at the Exceed dealership, I've just come around the back here and they've got this huge parking lot full of vans and commercial vehicles. And this is a brand called Shosse. And this was Ford. And they did actually have, I believe they still do have a factory that's producing these in Russia. And it's not called Ford, it's called Shosse. And they've got quite a lot of them parked up out the back here. And then this particular building right here in front of us, once we get out of the sun, was the Ford dealership. And it's now called Pango Cars. And this is actually a second-hand car dealership, or for some people we call them late model cars. And they don't have any Fords in here. Perhaps they've got a second-hand or a late model one somewhere tucked away. And quite a lot of the cars that are here are the trade-ins from some of the main dealers that I've walked around already. Pango Cars. Now, in a minute or two, you can see a gentleman right in front of us here. This is a channel subscriber who I just bumped into because he was bringing his car for servicing. And I'm going to have him on the channel with a couple of questions in a minute about all these cars that we see. As promised, I'm here with Tim, and actually, you know me already.
Of course.
And we've actually chatted on Telegram.
Yeah.
And you were bringing your car to the dealership for like servicing.
For servicing, yes.
And of course you know lots about cars. And today I've actually had pretty much nobody who can speak English at all the dealerships. So
But I can.
Now where we're standing here,
Yeah.
this was the Ford dealership.
Yes, this was a Ford dealership a few years ago.
And now it's a second-hand car.
Yes, this is a second-hand dealership. Pango
Cars.
and Exit.
And Exceed. So, like I've shown in the other showrooms, it seems to be like one was the Western brand, and one is now the Chinese brand, and this is really no different. However, there's not any Fords here.
Of
it's
course. All gone.
Every model. Maybe there's one or two Fords lying around, but. And then we saw, I just showed now all of these Shosse trucks. And there is hundreds of them parked over there.
Yeah.
So, cars in Russia.
Yes.
A lot of Chinese brands. Chinese brands are
everywhere.
The future.
It's our future.
If I
for Russia, years, maybe.
For Russia. If I compared the fact that Mercedes, BMW, Toyota, all of these brands, they're still here. However,
but unofficial.
Unofficially, so we can still buy one, but we don't have exactly all of the documentation and paperwork from the main dealer.
Yeah.
But the cars have basically a warranty from the place where you're buying them.
From the local dealer.
Right, like here. So yeah, it's just a matter of finding. Which car do you have, by the way?
I have a Cherry.
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 Now I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Cherry is in Australia. It has to be.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I know about Australia. Ah, yes, they have a Cherry Australia, of course.
Okay. I'm trying to remember which models of cars. In Australia, I had a Hyundai Getz.
Because a few days ago, they have passed the Australian NCAP.
Okay, like
with the Cherry Tiggo 4.
So like the official documents to allow it to be sold in Australia?
Not official. It's a crash test.
Okay, right. All right. So
they have a 5-star.
The rating for the So
it was a few days ago.
And then the Tesla Cybertruck doesn't pass any of these tests.
Maybe.
What do you think of the Cybertruck?
It's interesting.
Interesting.
Yes, that's all.
That's all. So, yeah, if you want to see Tim on more videos, they can mention in the comments.
Of course.
Maybe we can.
And I hope to see you in my house.
Yes.
And we can show to your subscribers.
Russian
village.
Village with single family homes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So
we can talk about its price.
And construction.
And so on.
Yeah, so yeah. That's really just so interesting. And just to explain, we just bumped into each other around the corner.
Yes.
And I was unsure about the video I'm making, and then now look at our smiles between us when we know each other, right? Or we know each other on social media.
Yes.
And then by chance I meet you in the street. So yeah.
And now we know each other.
Thank you, Tim. It's been nice to put you on the video, and I hope everybody enjoyed this little brief excerpt or little interview. I think I'll skip over going to see the Exceed dealership. They actually have all of their test drive cars parked out the front here. So you can come along and ask for a test drive. They've got all of their models parked inside. So this entire building here was the Ford dealership, and then it's been split now into 3 different parts. So the second-hand car dealership, which we just saw, and then the Exceed dealership right here, and then the actual other part is the service center for Ford and Soles. So it's all those trucks in that back parking lot. And then at the front here, it's very hard to see because of the sun. They've got one of the Soles parked right here. And then, what do they have? All of these brand new Ford Transits. These are actually all set up as the passenger vehicles, which in Russia they're very commonly used as minibuses. And depending on the models, they actually had multiple factories here in Russia, and Soles and Ford were a joint venture together, and where they made the Ford models or the Soles models, it just depends on the different factories. I want to see the entrance to this dealership, but I can't find the entrance. The way they've got all these set up now, they really are tucked out the way and around the back. So it's not as easy to find where they are, even using the maps on my phone. I think that possibly these Fords right here are now imported, because if you have a look on the side, they've got all of the Chinese stickers right here, and then they have all of the Russian stickers, and they've got one more Chinese one here that they haven't peeled off. So they're made for the Russian market as they are. The Ford Transit. I really want to say a big thank you to Tim. His actual name is Artem, and we really did just meet by chance around the corner from where I'm standing now, and he dropped his car off for servicing, and we actually came to walk down to have a look at one of the other dealerships together while he was waiting for his car to be ready. He's now gone off to go grab his car and go home. And I say this, I think, in every video about meeting subscribers. And I meet people in the strangest places. It's not an organized meetup like I'd like to do, a certain time and place. It's just coincidental that we were just walking by each other, and yeah, nice to get you on the channel, and hopefully I can arrange to come and have a look at your house. I know you've invited me, and I can do a video about your traditional house in Russia. You live not too far from where I am here. I know the area where you live, so I think that might make an interesting video. From this angle you can actually get a good idea about the Mercedes-Benz logo on the side of the building, and then the big logo on the flagpole right there. And instead of Mercedes-Benz, which we can read in English, it says MB Izmailova, and that's actually the region where we are here, Izmailova region. And if you go to some of the car shows and conventions in Russia, they have the MB logo when they're showing the vehicles, particularly the commercial vehicles like the vans that we just saw. And instead of Mercedes-Benz, it's now called MB here in Russia. Let me first apologize for the wrong pronunciation of this car. They have a Zaporozhye here, which is a car that was produced in USSR, essentially what is now Ukraine. And these are very tiny cars compared to a lot of the vehicles that you see on the road now. And have a look on the other side, they've got a Moskvich. Look at this thing with all the steel and chrome right there. You really can tell we're in a car dealership area when you see a couple of the old models proudly on display. I wonder if these are drivable or not. It's got the original hubcaps and everything on there. If you are a long-time watcher of the channel, this building might look familiar. This is where I did the motorbike dealership tour from right here. This is the largest motorbike dealer in all of Russia. That day that I came here, it was snowing, it was cold. I didn't even want to walk down to the Mercedes-Benz dealership down the street there because it was that cold on that day when I came. However, this whole area here is different businesses. It's a business park, basically. And you can see just off in the distance there, JCB has a dealership. The sign isn't quite as big as it used to be. But where we want to go is this huge place right here. And there is a car dealership tucked away in here called TopKar. And I think this might be a good fitting end to the video. Let's go check this out. I stand corrected, it's called TopAuto. And they actually have a few Lexus models parked in the window. Now this place is super interesting because on the upstairs level they've got even more motorcycle dealerships, and they've got some businesses that sell all of the gear, helmets, clothing. And then on this lower level they've got this premium luxury dealership. And I think this makes a nice ending to the video. The lady has just cleaned the floors and here I am walking through here. She's going to want to kill me. And have a look. They've got a couple of Rolls Royce right out the front and a few Porsche. We'll have a look a little bit closer at a couple of these in just a minute. All of these different models of Porsche. I think over here, some more Lexus. What's with all the dark model cars again? All of these darker colors. To make this part of the video more interesting, I found somebody who's going to give us a little bit of a informational about some of these luxury cars.
Hello, my name is Sergei and I would like to show you some cars in our showroom. Wine. Okay. It's Porsche 911 Turbo S and have I think 650 horsepower and 1/200 for 2.86.
Okay, so Sergei is going to talk about the cars a little bit, and
I would like to
he's
show
going to do
a
little bit of demonstrating what this car is possible of. Now this is actually a soft top or cabriolet.
Yeah, cabriolet.
Cabriolet. And hopefully the roof is going to go up for us. Hopefully.
Нет, на газ. Еще.
And there we go.
Nice.
Very nice car. And I think, Sergei,
Yep.
let's have a walk around and have a look at a couple of other models.
Okay, after that, I can show you a Porsche Panamera. It's like family sedan, 4 seats. We have 2.
Porsche Panamera sedan.
Yeah.
Family car.
Yeah, like BMW 5 or 8, you know, like this, like Mercedes-Benz E-Class. After that, Rolls-Royce Cullinan. We have, I think, 5 like these cars.
So we've just got a few of them on display here.
Yep.
And a few of them in an undisclosed location. We won't say where they are, but you've got 3 more hiding. In case you want to sell a few more, you have
Ага.
3 more.
Я.
Rolls-Royce Cullinan.
Вань, а мы можем это
Вау.
завести, чтобы значок?
Sergei wants to show us something a little bit special with the Rolls-Royce.
Yep, Spirit of Ecstasy.
And have a look. Right there. By magic. Oh,
Because very...
problems
I don't know.
with
understand?
somebody wants to take it or
Yeah.
break it.
Yeah.
So it's like an anti-theft
Yep.
precaution, right? So what's the difference between the white one and the black one here? Just the color?
Black beige.
Ah, this is called the black badge.
Yeah.
Rolls-Royce.
It's most expensive.
Cullinan.
Than this. Yep.
Okay, wow. All right, so these are big cars, yeah? How are you going to
Yeah.
take this and park in your...
It's very hard.
It's going to be a very big problem to park this at the supermarket or the shopping center,
Yeah.
do you think? And there it goes, up and down, especially for us. And I think behind you, you've got a few more cars. We'll head over there now and have a look.
Like V-Class, we have Porsche Cayenne, we have Lexus, we have Lambo Urus, Bentayga, we have Mercedes Maybach V12
Wow.
engine and G63. We have Maybach in Brabus.
Okay.
It's tuning atelier.
Let's have a look a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Also, we have a regular Porsche Cayenne 3.0 engine, BMW 5.0, and Bentley Bentayga. But in this corner, we have a special car like Mercedes Maybach in Brabus V12 engine and G63 special edition.
With this gold,
Yeah, details. This.
the bonnet,
Yeah.
grill.
Yep. And we. Okay.
Ah, with the side pipes
Yeah.
on there.
And can you put on the gas?
All right.
This car is very popular in Russia.
The G-Wagon.
Yeah.
And
In
then,
Russian we say Geländewagen, Gelik.
okay, Kelly Wagon.
Yep.
And then the Mercedes.
Yeah.
Wow.
For special clients.
Brabus. Wow, how relaxed are these seats?
Yeah.
They're angled way back, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, you have phone holder here.
Yep. For holder we have fridge,
Of course.
TV, panorama. Also,
Even more features. Now,
Yep.
I have to say Sergei here has been incredibly gracious to show the vehicle. There's some music playing.
but the most important thing in this car is the engine. It's V12
Okay, V12 engine.
Mercedes-Benz. Yeah.
Wow. And this is there a lot of these in Russia? Is it very limited?
No, very limited.
So these are not so easy to find.
Yeah.
Would I find this
I
easy?
think maybe 10 cars like this engine in Russia.
So the V12 Brabus Mercedes. And then do you think there's even one in Australia? I don't think I've seen any of these models in the road in Australia.
It's very
Limited.
limited, yeah.
Yes. All right. I just want to jump in for a minute and say a huge thank you to Sergei. I just walked in here and I had no plan to talk about all the vehicles specifically. I was just going to walk around. And now I think the video has got quite a lot longer than what I planned. I wanted to make a video about this dealership solely. And I think if you want to see something on another video later, let me know and mention Sergei's name in the comments. He would be more than happy to talk us through some other vehicles and even show us some vehicles that are on display here.
A few models, Mercedes-Benz V-Class, Range Rover, but we have one very special cars for subscribers, Russell. This Lamborghini Urus with carbon parts here, carbon parts here.
So this is Lamborghini Urus model.
Yep.
And then
it's a very interesting car.
Now, I have a question about why all these model of cars are black.
Because in Russia it's a very popular car for luxury cars.
For luxury cars. And this is like every car in the dealership
For
almost here.
For Russian oligarch.
For people that are, Sergei, they're not you and I think.
These cars have same price too, like Urus, this Range Rover Sport.
Wow, okay.
More than 600 horsepower.
600 horsepower.
More, maybe 620, because this custom too.
Custom. So these are not the showroom cars, these are the limited edition or limited quantity made.
Yeah, many cars is limited. This one, Mercedes-Benz, Mercedes G-Wagon.
And the point of this is you want to be set aside from everybody else, I think, and not have the same models as the next dealership down the road. You want to have unique.
Yeah, very unique cars in Russia.
So Range Rover Sport, this one?
This Range Rover Evoque.
Evoque?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I think, again, another Porsche. GTS. And this is hybrid.
Yeah, it's very fast, like 911 Turbo S.
Wow, okay.
But it's SUV.
SUV.
Yeah.
In Russia they call it ZUF. And there's another one in a different color.
And these are regular models, like
just the regular model.
Yeah, like 22 million in rubles.
Okay, but this is.
But this one 40.
Wow. Okay. And a couple more.
And we have.
We're right at the end here.
And we have Toyota Land Cruiser Prado.
But this is still, in Australia, this is an expensive vehicle.
Oh.
And in Russia,
I think it's 6 million. It's cheap car.
Right. But in Australia, depending on the model, you can pay 10 million or higher. The Prado.
Prado is very popular in Australia.
Yes. Toyota Prado, Toyota Land Cruiser.
Oh.
And people really don't use them off-road. But they've got them. Now, I have one last question.
Okay.
What's the car that you have or you're driving?
For today,
yes.
I think 911 Cabrio Turbo S is, my opinion, is best car.
Okay, the best car in the dealership.
Yeah.
Right, but when you finish work today, are you driving home or you're getting on the bus?
Going to the home. Nissan.
Oh, you have a Chinese car?
Yeah, Nissan L10.
Okay, Nissan. So
it's a very comfortable car, and I think it's best price for value. Understand?
Value for money.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So I'm going to say thank you to Sergei, and if you want to see more of Sergei, now Sergei, are you single?
No.
No.
I have a wife.
You have a wife. You look so young.
13 years.
Wow.
I'm 31 years.
Wow. Okay. So thank you very much, Sergei, and thanks for the impromptu add-on to this video. I didn't expect it to come out like this. And if people want to see you on the channel again, I think they should mention you in the comments.
Okay.
All right, so mention Sergei's name in the comments, and let's see if we can get him on another video. So I've reached the end of the video, and Sergei's still here with me. And this is very untraditional to how I end my videos. Normally I'm doing like a thank you for watching style. And Sergei, we met about an hour ago. Completely. Today has been the strangest day and probably the strangest video that you're watching, and it's turned out 1,000 times better than what I expected. And Sergei didn't even tell me until now that
China cars.
About other Chinese cars in this place where I'm standing finishing the video. Because I've talked so much, I got myself a drink.
Добрый cola.
Добрый cola, Russian Coca-Cola. So yeah. This is the end of the video. Now, what should people do if they liked the video?
I don't know, maybe...
Thumbs up?
Yep.
Thumbs up?
and comments.
And comment.
And
Right.
below.
Yeah, below the video, right.
And
Now,
subscribe on your channel.
and subscribe. Yes, so that's my normal ending of the video. I hope this was interesting. It's probably about 3 hours long now. It should be much less than that, of course. But Sergei, I want to come back and make another video. I think I have to, because what you've showed me here, they're not on this video. These are cars that I think nobody knows around the world. Even in America, they don't know them in other countries.
Only in China, I think it's most popular.
So if you want to see Sergei in another video, please let me know in the comments. And I think even if you're not a car person like me, I think you'll be wowed. Now, right above your head will be my link to my Telegram, just here. So if you want to click my Telegram link, I'll be right there. I'm posting a lot of stuff all the time. And then over here, there's going to pop up another video to watch. Actually, if you want to see the bike dealership video from this building upstairs, this will be the next video to watch. Thanks, everybody. I'm off on another adventure.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Bye.
I'm very happy.
Bye.
Bye.